Hi guys, welcome back to another Daily Tarot card. These are your Daily Tarot cards for Thursday, January 12th, 2023. Today we are pulling from the Game of Thrones Tarot cards for Throne Thursday. So we're starting off with the 10 of Spears. It's releasing burdens. So, like Universe was saying to us, when with the forecast and projections for the full moon, as well as the as Mercury retrograde, they were telling us, be kind to yourself, be gentle with yourself. We want to get a lot of ton of stuff done. For some of us, we went back to school right with the new year, and it's just like, be kind to yourself, be gentle with yourself. If you're not able to get every single little task done, I feel guilty for it too. It's like, oh, I should have got vacuuming done today, and it's just like it didn't get done. It's like, you know what, prioritize what is the most important things that you have to get done and fixate on those. It is some of us are, especially our fixed signs, we have the world card right there, fixed signs. It's like, we're going through a harder time with retrograde, but it's just like, breathe, meditate. They were telling us to find that yin yang, a balance, to find our chi, to find our fire, bravery, courage, strength, resilience. You need a freaking nap and sleep in, do so. I sat there and I was like, I don't want to waste my days off. I don't want to sleep. So I'm just like, I want to get up and I want to stay up and do the most with my time. Oh my gosh, I've been dragging my butt all week. So I'm listening to my body. If that's what I'm supposed to do, that's what I'm supposed to do. You know what I mean? Like, I work 2 jobs, raising these kids, taking care of Sunny, taking care of this household, snow removal. It's just like, you know what? If I need to sleep, that's what I'm going to freaking do. That's my days off. I work hard. I work my butt off. So it's just like, we got to sit there and it's not like I sleep my whole day as off, but it's just like, you got to realize what works for you. Do not forget to drink your water. Sit there and drink your water. Make sure you're getting that, your nutrients in there. We're 60% water. Make sure you drink your water. You're not a fan of water? Go to Walmart. You don't have to buy the name brand flavor shots. You could buy yourself the Great Value flavor shots. Our family is a fan of the fruit punch and the grape. My boys drink the blue raspberry as well as the orange. Other ones, my son Michael likes lemon, but I just stick to the 2 I like. And I drink tons of water. That's all I do. I don't drink. I'll have milk here and there, maybe sometimes, but it's just like most of the time, unless I get like a beverage when I'm, when we go out. That's about it. It's like mostly water and coffee. So we have the world here, or excuse me, the moon, and I feel like this is the cycle they've highlighted, the Decadent Moon deck, where they were talking about January's moon cycle and February's. They were talking about the full moon in February. So there may be some hangover energy here that we're dealing with from retrograde. From my forecast, I have it as the 12th. I looked at the retrogrades at the beginning of 2022 and that's what I saw, so I stuck to it. I followed the guidance that I got, and I'm sticking to my forecast. Some people have it till the 18th, so be it. Whatever you want to follow, whatever you feel. Be gentle with yourself. Meditation. Get out there in the sun. We've been having cloudy days and and overcast nights for a little bit here, and it's just you can definitely, I felt the difference without having the sun. But the sun was peeking through, but it wasn't so much the rays. So today with the snow removal that I was doing, it's just oh, it's so nice to be in the sun again. You forget how wonderful it is to be out in the sun. There's nothing like a warm winter day when you're able just to sit out there and just soak up the rays of the sun. You can just feel the warmth of it. It's beautiful. We have the world. So going back to the full moon, back to the forecast and projections for retrograde. We are talking about 25% that still needs to be healed. I feel like maybe you'll get down to 10, but I feel like, they were showing, so kind enough to show with on Instagram when I was filming, that you are intertwined with someone. That, as much as you try to purge someone from your life, it's like you two are intertwined. It's engraved in you. It's part of your DNA. It's this is someone with me, it's Shane. It's it's not so much trying to get rid of him out of my life or anything like that. It's just to get over the grief of it. And for me, it's just every time I look at my boys, every time a milestone comes up, or in my case, you're going to see with the definitions here, dreams. I had a dream of him on the 23rd and it rocked me right to my core. And I'm like, you know what? these are the aftershocks we have to deal with. When we have, this is a cost that we pay for love. That's exactly what they say. But I'm just like, you know what? Christmas is literally tomorrow. I'm not dealing with this right now. And it's affected me afterwards. And I kid you not, when I was talking about how Lagatha descends into the water as she's, transforming, and they showed all of the things that she was in her life, and then she lays beside Ragnar, and where she found the most peace and love with him was when they were simple farmers, and she lays down beside Ragnar, and she becomes, like we all will, ash. She became the sand, part of the sand, the surface of the ocean. And she laid right beside Ragnar where they had laid him to rest. And they end up, this undertow comes and whisks them away. And it's like they could finally be reunited. And like she says in her dreams, like, in our dreams, we're always together. We talk about that, like, where they were showing these different levels. It's just like Kate, This Is Us, where she goes through the caboose, goes through the train all the way to the caboose, and there's Jack waiting for her. I love the fact that the two of them are laying in bed, and I'm like, oh my god, that is so me and Shane. But I would lay on his chest, so we would just talk or hold hands, or we would play with the animals. It was our time to be together. It was just like we were so busy, with work and kids and school and animals and life. It was just, that was our time together. And it's just like, I feel like they're just saying, like, it's okay to feel those things. And I always tell everybody that. I tell you guys that in all the videos that I post. It's okay to feel the feelings that you're feeling, but don't make a home there. Because it's like, yeah, like, you're going to feel those feelings. It's like, it's a part of you. It's ingrained in you. Maybe you had lifetimes together before, by the grace of the universe, by the grace of Yeshua, by the grace of Yahweh. It's just, it's, something that it's priceless. You can never, you can't find words to articulate it, but I feel like that's what they're saying. It's okay to feel those feelings, but that's why I'm saying, like, there's a healing that needs to take place here. Is it from, there's something in your life that you're purging? Maybe it's a friend, maybe it's a person, maybe it's a job, maybe it's a thing, an addiction. There's something here that we're letting go of. We know with addiction, it's always ingrained in us. No matter how much we try to get away from some things, it's just ingrained in us until we make that action. And still, it's a struggle every single day. For some of you, this is going to be a verbal commitment, a contractual commitment. Some of you, it's not as deep as others, by the grace of the universe, by the grace of Yeshua. Two of Spirits, you're going to have to make a decision here. I'm sure people are going to sit there and be like, oh, take on my burdens, take on this. This is what I'm dealing with. It's like, you know what? I'm going through my own crud as well. As much as I love you and I want to be for you right now, I can't. I get quiet when I'm going through things. I love to kiki and talk and this and that. Sometimes I just like to be, that hermit energy. Retreat to the cave. Retreat into, inside and just, feel what I'm feeling. Allow the universe to sit there and send whatever messages they want to, and, meditation, and it's just like, that is the time to take care of yourself. I won't feel this, in this energy. I'm getting better. It's been getting better. It's day by day. I could feel, I could feel it in my shoulders from the snow removal, but good workout. We have judgment. So a rebirth of ourselves. What do we choose to have in our life? How do we choose to treat ourselves? The biggest hack of a holiday, Valentine's Day, is coming up, and it's just like, that should define love. And it's like, not one day on the calendar should define love. Every day should define love. So don't sit there and say, oh, yeah, just like they try to do at Christmas time, another Christmas alone, another holiday. No, it's like, do things for yourself. Black Friday sales, sit there. What is things that you want? Everyone raves about air fryers. Got one on sale? I don't, I'm going to try some other things, but so far it's, even my son said it. We did his chicken nuggets in there and he's just like, just tastes like it was in the oven, Mom. I was like, oh my gosh, didn't taste any different. Everyone's like, oh yeah, everything tastes so delicious. It tastes so different. I'm like, put it in the oven. It's the same thing. I don't know. But, but it's like a rebirth in your life. It's just like, you want to sit there and bring certain things into your life. You want to buy yourself flowers, buy yourself flowers. I see beautiful flowers. I buy myself flowers. I don't care. I have so many damn cactuses I have in my house. Oh my gosh. I that is like my vision. I need to start putting that on my vision board. I want to have an area in my house where it could be a sitting room, but where I can have my plants. I'm sure they'll be all over. I'll have a jungle in that room, but it's just like I can't get enough of it. Just to have a sitting room where you can sit down and the sun's beaming through, and you can sit there and have like bird feeders outside and stuff like that. But it's like an area where you could go and just relax and just be with your plants, drink your morning coffee or whatever. It's just a nice little area, but you know by the grace of the universe. But I feel like it's just like take it easy with yourself. You don't have to take on anything else right now. Make that decision for yourself, and for the better, like honestly, for the betterment of your mental health and everything. Just sit there and don't take anyone else's burdens on right now. Feeling overwhelmed, work, burdens, guilt, marriedom. So this is kind of like the heavy energy that we're getting from retrograde, where we're overthinking. So we're getting exhausted from it because this is a heavy emotional. We don't realize how exhausting it is, and this is where I say it's a wasted energy. But it's just like with myself, where you get these aftershocks of something, like an event in your life that was a big marker in your life. It's exhausting. You don't realize how exhausting it is, and it's just like in that time, instead of sitting there telling myself, "Yeah, stay up and make the most of your," I should have just because I was up early. I went to bed, I think at 3. I was up at 7. I should have just went and laid down, even if I got up at 3, 4 in the morning. Later on, it's just like you got to listen to your body. It may work for every different people, but that's them. This is you. And the reverse position, the burdens are more imagined than real. So it's not so much imagine, it's just you're in your head too much. So you're painting yourself in an emotional corner. You know what I mean? Because you're thinking. I did this, a lot when Shane first transformed it. It's just like I was afraid of losing my home all the time. I was afraid of not being able to pay the bills and everything. And it's just like, you know, let's look at the reality of the situation. You've been doing that all along. But I was just so afraid of everything just completely, you know what I mean, just getting wiped out. And it's just like, Yeshua, Yahweh, they carried us. you know it's just my faith has gotten me through some horrible times. So you're in danger of becoming married. You're giving away your time and energy to way too easily, and this is what I'm talking about. It's like, that's where I'm saying, watch, like, feel what you're feeling. Didn't we talk about that with from the Nightmare Before Christmas? That feeling that we get, that where we just like, wow, everything's so high in life. I feel fantastic. Oh my goodness, I can't believe I feel this good. And it's like, if we could bottle that feeling, we would. But in that energy, it's like, it's great, live it up. But in the low times, it's teaching us a lesson. It's teaching us a lesson. It's like, for myself, what I was going through, I can only speak for what I've experienced and what I'm going through. It's just like, it's just like, I got to realize that's always going to be a part of me. You know what I mean? It's just like, and it's, aftershocks will come, but it's just like, I know that, what we had was more than, pieces of paper and rings and all that would mean. We have these two beautiful boys together. We had a life together. You know what I mean? You can, I'm just thankful that I had, like I always tell the boys, I'm thankful for the time I had with him. If I could change things, I would, but the thing is, we got to move forward. And I said, that's the crappy part about it, but he is with us as we move forward, and I just have to accept that. It's just, aftershocks will come, and I just got to deal with them one by one, and, just live up the beautiful moments, like today. Even though I was snow throwing, I didn't care. It was like, the afternoon. I put on corn, I blasted it, and I did my snow removal. I didn't even care. No one said anything. I think they were too afraid to. They come say something to me. It's like, yeah, it's 3:00 in the afternoon. I'm going to blast it so that way I can blast through the snow. So we go to the moon, this beautiful moon. Oh my goodness. We have had clouded skies with the sun's been there, but not like as potent as it usually is. And then the night sky. Oh my goodness. The night sky has just been clouded over as well. You can see the moon sometimes, but I love to see the stars and the constellations and everything like that. The moon was out. I took some nice pictures. So it was just, that it just makes your heart sing, to see how how the stars glitter and glisten a little bit more when the moon's out. So illusion, the unconscious, mystery, deception, uncertainty, dreams. Here we go with the dreams. Indecisions. You may feel confused, disappointed, or disillusioned. Emotions are running high, and that's where we got to be careful. Get your sleep because your emotions are running high. It's exhausting, you know? It's like sometimes you can't help what you go through. And your sense that need for a decision, which feels like a great risk. Vulnerable as you are, ask your intuition to guide you forward and discern what is a real option and what may be a fantasy. When you do this, you may discover your true path and work and what you're meant to do. Dreams, philosophy. I feel like in that, it's just like when they talk about disillusionment, I don't feel like it's disillusionment. I feel like you're tired. I feel like you're just, you know what I mean? You're more emotional because you're tired, you know? This is not a green light for you to spend the whole winter in bed. This is more so if you're exhausted, then it's just like, especially if you're going through something, it's like, you need that rest because myself, not so much Shane. Shane would stay up late and just crash. But even one of our sons, it's just like, that tossing and turning. And I told him, when you feel like that, you can't sleep, get up and go do something. And I said, it's okay. I'm like, I'd rather you get up, do something, and then he'll come back to bed. You know what I mean? I'm like, I'd rather you do that than sit there, toss and turn. And then he ends up just, crashing later, So I'm just like, just sleep, I told him he was buzzing around. I call him I'm a little mosquito. He likes to buzz around and annoy people. And I told him, I said, hey, grab a shovel and go shovel. Nope. I'm like, you won't be bothering anyone. You will go and lay in your bed and you won't move. So we go to the world. And this is where I feel like it's like making peace that sometimes, even though we feel like we want something to end, I don't feel like so much end. I feel like that's a tricky thing, It's like as much as I want those grief feelings to go, it's not so much grief and sadness. It's just what the truth is. That with us, especially, we didn't get that final goodbye. It was something out of the blue. It was a traumatic experience. And that's something that's always going to be a part of us, And that's something I have to accept and the aftershocks of it as well. You know what I mean? And it's just like, we're like they were showing the Two of Cups. They're showing the medical symbol with the two snakes intertwined with each other. And they were talking about DNA. You know what I mean? And it's just like, that's the truth of the situation, But it doesn't mean you have to be stuck in that energy. It's just like when those aftershocks come in life, it whatever the situation is, I'm sorry, first of all, if you're going through it, it's hell. But it's just like, feel what you're feeling, even if it takes some time, I pushed it down. Retrograde happened on the 23rd. I meditated, for if that's the forecaster going by. I did a meditation and it's just like, it just came right back up to the surface. And it's like, it's okay. I know how to deal with it. It's just like, I'm not going to give it any more energy than I have to. You know what I mean? Feel what you feel. If you have to cry, cry. And it's just like, it's just like great. Like I said, I'm grateful for the time. I'm grateful for my boys and, the experiences, and that's it. It's just, you got to keep going on. You can't keep living in that energy. Completion, success, reward, integration, expansion. The world represents fulfillment and deserved success. This may be a graduation, promotion, the completion of a landmark creative project, or celebrating a key anniversaries and birthdays. So literally Sunny's birthday is coming up on the 26th. So it's just like, we didn't have him for his birthday. We actually got him closer to Shane's passing transformation. So it's just like, we got unconditional love. This is something I've been trying to do for the boys for a while, and it's just the right timing, right place, everything. He was supposed to be with another family and they didn't want him. And I was like, well, if you guys don't want him, is it okay if we take him? And they're like, yeah, for sure. So we ended up taking him. And then they saw like we trimmed down his hair and everything like that. And I'm like, he's such a sweet boy and everything like that. And they're just like, oh. They're like, can you ask them if they have any more? It was some breeders that had him. So we were lucky enough that she was able to get someone that he's familiar with, because every time they hang around each other, she's submissive to him. She doesn't do anything inappropriate, but she'll just like lay on the ground for him. And we're just like, no, 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 none of that. But they recognize each other, which I'm grateful for. At least they can be around each other that way. They know each other and they can just kiki and everything with each other. They always intertwine their leashes and everything. My mom just laughs at them, but it's nice that he still has that familiarity with her. But I'm grateful. And the boys always say that. They're always so thankful for Sonny. He's a little clown. We did the snow removal. He's like a little mountain goat. He goes, I'm like, what are you doing? He climbs up the hills and he rolled down. He got spooked by the wind or something and he ended up rolling down the hill. I'm like, oh my gosh. He looked like a little baby seal, all white. I'm like, what are you doing? Oh, this dog. In relationships and families, love flourishes, brings you joy. The card also heralds a time of expansion as future takes seed. So we're planting some seeds, and we're hoping that they will start to sprout and bear fruit. Some people are getting ready. Their seeds getting ready for January right now, to plant them out in the garden when the ground thaws. So it's just like, do what you feel is best. In life, it's just like, as long as you're not hurting anyone, try and plant those seeds, see what'll happen. This card also heralds a time of expansion as future plans take seed. You may travel or move into new businesses and friendship circles. Spiritually, the card suggests oneness with the world, awards and gifts with no harm to none, and so it is. And it's just like, sometimes some of us could see that we have these cycles in life where these things keep coming into our life. We're grateful for that these opportunities keep coming in, and use them wisely, and more things will come. It's not like doing things and you're expecting, oh yeah, I do this and I'll get, the universe will give me this. It's like, no, do it from a pure heart. Because for me, I always have that good feeling inside. And when I'm able to, like, I'm not able to all the time, but when I can, I do. Like, every time, like all of December, like every store we went to, every time we saw Salvation Army, my mom or me, she would sit there and she would give cash. Because, she has like $5 on her sometimes, or she always has coins. So she'll put coins in there and stuff like that. And I'll sit there and I'll just like, when we're at the checkout, you want to do, yep, go ahead. My mom's like, they'll ask my mom, I'm like, no, she just donated to the, the ball. I'm like, this is from the both of us. They're like, oh, okay. So that way she doesn't, me and her have that generous heart, That's what I love about us. And it's just like, doing it with a generous heart, because unfortunately, it's just the time of the world that we're in. Like, people need it a lot more than we do. So, Two of Spears, partnership, plans, choices, travel. So we keep getting travel here. The two reveals a choice. If you are ready to leave the sanctuary of your castle, it's time to visualize the possibilities and make a plan. Partnerships are favored now too. You may have support around you. The Two of Wands can also represent a portal into the spiritual realms, and overall a leap into an exciting new territory. So we look at 2023. When you add up the numbers, it equals 7. So it's all about enlightenment. So it's like stepping into this, like, for some of us, it's leveling up even more. I definitely saw this ascension. You know what I mean? I was just like, kind of getting some resurrection kind of vibes. I definitely feel Bill Jackson opened that to me from Tribal Trails, where he was talking about there's been many resurrections before the one coming. And I'm like, what? And he's like, think about it. And I'm like, damn, that makes so much sense. The flood, a resurrection, right? When we talk about Sodom and Gomorrah, when we talk about, the dinosaurs and their demise, resurrection. The Mayans, resurrection. The Egyptians, I feel like it was a resurrection. Why do they have pyramids? Why do they have these chambers? And why does the certain constellations sign through? You know what I mean? We can go deep into this stuff, but it's like, you know what I mean? I feel like the Egyptians are way past evolved than we could ever, even the Mayans, you know? I feel like Atlantis, the same thing. It's like I feel like they get so far advanced for this world. It's just like, okay, let's put them somewhere else because this world isn't evolved enough to keep them. I feel like if you're drawn to it, definitely put your time and skill into it. Like I recently, like today, I saw these ladies do Reiki. One of the girls really, her just something about her spoke to me, and it was just she did it. And I'm just like, wow. She's like, you may feel tingling on your brain. I was like, what the hell? And I just felt like this heaviness in my arms. I'm like, well, that could be from snow removal. But then all of a sudden it went away. I was just like, what the hell? It came in and then it left. I was just like, wow, that's crazy. So it's really cool. I really liked it. So judgment, the past, second chances, memories, guilt, awakeness, the soul. So, a rebirth in our life. We keep getting the knockings of a rebirth, something coming out of the blue. So if you look at the Circle of Life tarot cards that we pulled from yesterday, we had that baby and the baby bird, and it's like, how can they coexist? But there's zodiac sign Cancer was present there, So it's like, we had a full moon in Cancer, very highly intuitive, very sensitive. That's what I'm saying. Be careful of this energy. Look at this, the blue of the card. We call it winter blues, right? But it's just like, we got to sit there and find the ways to make us happy. Like, literally, like, I couldn't, the only thing with me was just like, the time crunch. That was my own fault. But it was just like, the time crunch there. And it was just, I got it done, thank God. I was just like, 10 more minutes. And I'm just like, I can get this done. So I finished it off. But it's just like, I felt so good to be in the sun. It really changed my mood, to get the fresh air, to get the blood flowing. I sat there and I got my, you could see it right there, Spoiled Bat. That's my Queenie Black. She's on SD. She's on every platform that you could think of. Pocket full of posies. It's a huge tumbler. Hopefully you can see her tumbler a bit better. Yeah, you can see it a bit better. But it's huge. I put my aminos in there and I just went out and it was just, I was like, I have to keep water out there because I'm a mouth breather because of my allergies. Like, you guys could hear me in my videos. It's just something I got to deal with. But, I had, just drinking that, blasting corn, and it was just like, sitting there and doing that. It's just, what a great afternoon, to be out in the sun and, that cool breeze. It's just like, finding ways to enjoy, even though I'm not a fan of the winter, it's just, finding ways to enjoy it. Judgment often appears in a reading when you are on the brink of change. So you've probably been seeing a lot of 5s lately. With it comes memories, dreams of the past. So this is what I was talking about, dreams of the past. You know what I mean? It's just like, I felt like with mine it was like the present. I just felt like, something I needed to know, And with it comes memories, dreams of the past, and people reappearing in your life. The thing is, you got to say to yourself, do you want these people in your life? Because you've changed, you evolved. You're not the same person you used to be. And either have they, especially when you listen to the rest of the definition, it's just like making a sound decision, because we don't want to repeat, we don't want the definition of insanity here. I definitely feel like taking it slow, Don't rush into anything here. And people reappearing in your life. You may decide to give a situation or a relationship a second chance, or otherwise review your behavior and see at a higher level the life lessons offered. For me, it was just like, the more I'm like a spy when it comes to that. Not a spy, but it's like I'm a detective. You know what I mean? Like, I found certain things and I was just like, ooh, well, I'm glad I didn't, I'm glad that didn't work out. You know what I mean? Because it's like I didn't have all the information. That's why it's good to go slow. You know what I mean? So it's just like, do I really want that around my kids? Like, and I feel like that's why they were saying, remember, decisions you make don't, they were saying like critical decisions don't just involve you. You know what I mean? Because sometimes you forget, you know what I mean? Oh, I don't, but it's just like some people, it's just like they're in that mindset of oneness. Otherwise, review your behavior and see at a higher level the life lessons offered. This card also suggests spiritual awakening. So we're getting that a lot, especially number 7 in the sky. Mediumship and connecting with angels and guides. This is a powerful opportunity to make sense of the past. Fame, reputation. So I feel like with that, it's just like, we kept getting the 8 of Wands. you know, especially them showing that, like, that intertwined two of cups, like, you know what I mean? You know, like with the two of wands, you could, you know, you could sit there and like they're usually holding an orb, and they're, you know, this is the universe supporting you as you move forward. Well, there's a dragon flying in the sky right there. I know it's Danny, but still, it's just like, you know, we were talking about ascension here. You know what I mean? Leveling up, judgment. That's what you usually see. These people ascending, you know, into their purest self when they're really in touch with things, and it's like when your mind is more into, you know, the spiritual endeavors rather than the earthly ones. You know, yeah, it's great to have things and accumulate stuff and this and that, the other, but do it for yourself. Not because you're trying to be better than anyone else, or have the shiniest of the shine. Do it because it makes you happy. That's all that matters at the end of the day. People are going to have their opinions and always have something to say. Do what makes you happy. Who cares if they agree with it, they don't disagree with it, they call you names, oh, you're immature, whatever. Doesn't matter. You know? As long as you're enjoying life, that's all that matters. You could sit there and look back on life and say, I lived it to the fullest. I did everything that made me happy, and I didn't care. Because that's all that it is at the end of the day. It's what makes you happy, and you're doing what makes you, you know, that makes your heart sing. Like, I was doing, what was I doing? Was that the forecast of projections? We had something about youthful spirit, and I said, yeah, that's the only thing that's useful about, not useful, youthful about me. Oh my goodness. Oh my gosh, that was so funny. It's just, I was just feeling so tired, and I was just like, oh my gosh. I'm sure I'm going to feel it tomorrow. But it's just like, you know, when you get that energy, it's like, damn. Like, I remember working at Tim Hortons, I used to do 3 trucks a week, and I'm like, oh my gosh. But I didn't have kids and all the responsibility I have now. It's different, you know what I mean? When you're younger, it's just like, you know, that's why you can do so much stuff. Because you don't have to worry about freaking having enough energy to do everything else. It is what it is, you know? But, yeah, that's funny. So I hope you guys enjoyed these daily tarot cards for Thursday, January 12th, 2023. May the universe bless you good. We'll see you for the next daily tarot card. Be kind to yourself. Bye.